The thing to know is that, we have this movement and we are trying to give trans people opportunities, but the reality is, how many of you have heard of outliers or maybe the 10,000 hours sort of thing? Yeah, right? And it's this whole concept of if there's not really a sense of a genius. Like genius is made by a lot of hard work. And people who have had like Steve Jobs or Beethoven, these folks who have locked themselves away and have spent an obscene amount of time working on their craft. I kind of compare that also to a sense of when people ask me about sort of how I'm able to do so many things. I'm very flexible. I'm kind of like a MacGyver. I can do a lot of different jobs. It's because I've had the opportunity to work a lot. And that's not the same experience for most trans people. I have had what you call passing privilege, which means that when I transitioned at the age of 19, I passed in society. So I didn't have people stopping me at the restroom telling me that I didn't belong there. Things only hit the fan normally when I had to pull up my identification and my IDs did not match. And I realized through my work history, and I kind of put this up so that I can give you a little bit of an overview, but mostly what you'll see, like, this is what we call like the respectable view, let's say, of my work history. But, and you give a resume, let's say you go apply for a job and you give a resume and you're only supposed to include so much, right? You want to really focus that in. But prior to being a sales girl at BB, prior to being a realtor, I waited tables for 6 years. I was a makeup artist at the makeup counters and sold makeup. So, but also, I am a great communicator, verbally, written-wise, or what have you. And so I recognize that for me as a trans person, my core curriculum that helped me to survive were sales and communications. Those, for me, were the two fundamentals that I needed to be able to explain to the world, verbally and non-verbally, who I am and what it is that I want. I also need to be able to know how to sell myself. For instance, all these businesses, they have their business objectives and I have mine. So I want to become a makeup artist and I go apply for a job at a makeup company. And they put me at X makeup counter, I won't say which one. They put me at one makeup counter and yes, I look pretty and I'm standing there and I can do these things, but I can't wear a single thing at this makeup counter because I'm too dark. I don't have my shades, so I'm not actually really empowered. I can't relate to the product in a way that I can then relate to my customers and sell them on those same things. So I had to realize that even though this company had their objectives, that I too was a business. And I too had to learn how to sell myself all the time. I had to know when am I being used for my best use and when I'm not. And this was a process, because you don't always get to choose everything. Sometimes life says you're working at Hardee's. I worked at Hardee's. Sometimes life says you're going door to door selling credit card processors. I did that. Sometimes life says that you're a showgirl. I did that too, and that was fun, and that was fine for a while.